All right, shalom, shalom. First things first, I want to give all honor and praise unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushai, Bahashem Rachak Wadash. Say Barakat Yahweh, Barak Yahushai, Barakat Yahweh, Barak Yahushai, Barakat Yahweh, Barak Yahushai, Bahashem Rachak Wadash. And we give double honors to our apostles and our elders, which apostle elders, a great millstone, which feed us with knowledge, wisdom, and understanding through the spirit and power of Yahweh Yahushai. 2025, which is the hopeful year of our deliverance and the judgment and the destruction of Esau. Let's jump right into this video. Title's video is a response to the elder in North Carolina or South Carolina, Salakia. He put this video up concerning the IUIC end time AI video is still going off, which you can watch the video, a very edifying video, going in the fact of they want to do all of this glorious things and, try to glorify the truth, but they're really glorifying themselves. They're not really We have the opportunity. The same thing that the elder was reiterating in this video is that we're here to usher in the same thing John, all right? The same spirit that John came in was, he said, I'm not worthy to loose the sandals of him that cometh. So if John, which was the greatest prophet among men, gave so much reverence to Yahushai that he said, I'm not even worthy to loose his sandal, that means he was giving a lot of reverence, because that was the epitome of the gospel. Okay, us coming back to Yahweh was only done through Yahushai's sacrifice. Okay, so if we did not have the lamb, we wouldn't be able to come back and have that reconciliation and come back into the fold. Okay, so you can watch the first part of this video, watch the whole video, but it'll show you that they're pretty much glorifying themselves, their group, that they're the prophets, they're the ones that's going to be beamed up. But at the same breath, they're still pushing the hell doctrine. They're still changing when it comes to the main prophecy that they're negating, which is the MOTB. They're not pushing the right understanding for preparing their flock. And if they don't prepare their flock, their flock is not going to be delivered, because there's a criteria when it comes to the deliverance and the elect. Okay, so I just wanted to bring out a few precepts, because if you see here, you even have the tribe of Juba. So this AI is corrupting and corrupting the actual knowledge, wisdom, and understanding, because it's not putting that full-fledged in there. But it's not a perfect system, but it's getting close as they develop it. There's a lot of things in the background developing this AI to a whole new level. Now you got to wonder, how long has Esau been using AI? He might have made all these movies through AI and we didn't even know, so he's making multi-million-dollar movies for next to nothing and taking no time to do it. All right. They've been telling us animation, but AI has been using animation, and they didn't just let it out to the public. They had it first. Okay. The top echelon and they probably got the top tier AI that they're not letting out anyway. So let's jump right into this video. Let's see here. We'll play the first part of it. Fair use. This is for educational purposes only. That way you can see the first part and see what the video entails.
Across 5 states, these black Hebrew radicals are accused of distributing unlicensed scripture and the gospel.
They got Nate as, they're uplifting Nate, which we've been known as we call that a cult of personality. They're doing that because they'll uplift him, but they won't uplift the name of Yahushai.
Repeat, Tehran has launched nuclear strikes against Zionist settlements. We believe this is the beginning of World War III.
We are out of here!
Reporting live, tensions have reached a breaking point in the Valley of Jehoshaphat, and we've just received confirmation of a new.
Our apologies for the interruption. We're experiencing unprecedented interference. Let's cut straight to the battlefield.
We are mobilizing to scatter the new threat. Move!
And you can see they say that the Messiah's return, and we don't even like to frame those other names, but those the titles. But they're not pushing the name, which is the main important part. That's why it says there's no name under heaven whereby men must be saved. Okay, we're not here to push any other name. That's the name that Esau gave, because once they see these videos, as dramatic and cinematic as they are, they're still going to hear the J word. They're going to hear that name that's been pushed. They're not going to hear the name of Yahweh Shai. Okay. Even in the prophets, going back to the Apocrypha, was told of Yahweh Shai's coming. Yahweh Shai was a key figure because it's called Nom and Omen. And name also has power. A name brings forth vibration. Names bring forth an element of power. I did a video concerning water is a receptor. You can write certain things on water that will actually affect the water, the actual structure of the water. So you're saying a name that is not even a name. G and Zus, which breaks down, the apostles have brought it out to earth pig. Okay, that's not a powerful name. Okay, but Yahweh Shai, okay, which he is the deliverer, because that's what we are. That's the vibration that we're on now. We're praying for deliverance. Yahweh Shai Nawa. Okay, Hosanna, Hosanna, save us. We there's no other name you should be calling on right now because he's the one that's coming closer to the earth. All right, and it doesn't matter how many so-called members you have, how many so-called podcasts you go on. The Lord can save. Going back to the man on the cross, the one on the benefactor on the right-hand side, he said, look, remember me when you enter into your kingdom. That's all he had to do to be saved. Okay, so it's a simple act in this time is to give credence and to give glory to Yahweh Shai. Because if he says you bless, just like Abraham blessing, it says if I will bless those that bless you. So what makes you think that's not coming down onto his son also? Because Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, okay, you have that blessing. That's the blessing that went down. Those that bless us will be blessed. Those that curse us will be cursed. And calling the Messiah the name of that, calling him out of his name is disrespect. Just like now, if you call your father out of his, sometimes you can't even call your father by his first name. You may be able to call him by his title, but you won't be able to just call him out his name or call him by another name. You're going to really get in trouble because it's a form of respect. Okay? It's a form of respect. It's that's why it says kiss the son lest he be angry. How do you kiss the son? If you only want to mention his name, and we have the name, there's many archaeological artifacts that says the Paleo Hebrew we have correct. The Paleo Hebrew that we're speaking today is 100% on point. We believe that through the spirit and power of Yahweh Yahushai. Okay, and then scholars and different artifacts have shown that we have the Paleo Hebrew. Even going back to the movie with the Ten Commandments, the Paleo Hebrew was written on there. Esau knows the truth. That's why he's telling the lie. He knows the truth. That's why that Yiddish is being pushed. They're not pushing the Paleo Hebrew, because if the Paleo Hebrew was pushed, guess what? The name would be pushed. Okay, the name would be pushed right along with it. So let's pull up these precepts, because I ain't gonna make this long. The elder definitely hit it on the head. I advise go wash it. Lord willing, I put it in the description if I can remember to do so. But if not, you can see the title of the video. Go to the page and check it out. Subscribe and be edified. And this is the book of Galatians 5 and verse 9. Okay, and it says, let's go to the NLT because it hits it on the head. This is Galatians 5 and verse. We'll start at verse 7. It says, you were running the race so well. Who has held you back from following the truth? Okay. It certainly isn't is Most High, for he is the one who called you to freedom. And what's another part of our freedom is freedom from that name, freedom from that title, because there is no power in that title. There's no power because it doesn't have any general meaning. It doesn't break down to anything. There's no English word for G and Zus. Okay. It says, these false teachings is like a little yeast that spreads throughout the whole batch of dough. And that name, and that's what I seen out of the video, the AI video from IUIC, is that all of it was somewhat on point. Okay, the persecution, the war, the coming war, Yahushua coming down, and Yahushua's coming in a chariot. That's why 2nd Ezra, the 13th chapter, said he neither held weapon or sword or any kind of instrument of war. He only sent out of his mouth a blast of fire, which is a concentrated weapon. Okay, what you would call today as a direct energy weapon. Okay, Esau has that technology because it was given to him. Okay, he has nothing. That's why it says all good is given from the Father. All these things that Esau has is given through the spirit and power of Yahweh Yahushai to bring forth the prophecy and to bring forth his end. Okay, because he's given that, he's not coming down on the earth and blood's going to be sprinkled on his garments and he's going to be, fighting war soldiers. And no, he's just going to shoot lasers, man. And he's going to deliver the elect. Easy as that. Okay. And it says, I am trusting the Lord to keep you from believing false teachings. What's another false teaching? Hell doctrine. All right. The sin in all of its forms is the MOTB. All these things are leaven, because one of these things can cause you to go off and cause you not to make it. But all of them combined together, the whole head is the whole dough is leavened up, man. Okay, there's more leaven than there is dough. All right, it's over leavened. So what you think is going to happen if they keep pushing that? And then somebody that is coming, because the truth has a lot of light on it currently, it's the talk of the town. I've said that before. So if somebody sees this, they're gonna still be able to attach to the dogmas of the Christian church, the modern day Christian church, which some of them believe in, a lot of them are leaving out of, but they're gonna go from the fire to the frying pan, because they're gonna come into this with the mentality of, oh, I can keep that name, or I can push the hell doctrine, and then they're gonna be. That's why the scripture said, make them a two more fold child of hell than themselves. They can pass land and air. So these men they're falling under that prophecy of the wicked Sadducees and Pharisees, man. Because Yahweh said, you will see me come with the thousands of angels in heaven. He didn't say you're going to see me on the earth, because there's going to be a aerial assault. The Lord is going to beam up the elect, and he's going to destroy the armies. He's going to put the earth in subjection, and there's nothing that anybody's going to be able to do about it, man. Okay, that's why it says they were afraid, but durst still fight. Understand that. That's a leavening. Yeah, the video looks, if you outside looking in, you would think, oh shit, this is mighty. But you're not seeing the leaven in there. You're not seeing the corruption that's in there. And once the group really gets in you, or you jump into that group, you're gonna be pushing hell. You got to go through a damn application process. When did the Lord go to his disciples and told them to put in an app? And wait for approval. Okay, the spirit bear witness that we are the children of Yahshua, man. It's not what you can't apply to be a prophet. What the fuck? Where is that? Where they do that at, man? You can't apply to be a prophet. You have to be chosen before the foundation of the earth. You have to be breathed. That's why it says, before I formed thee in the belly, I knew thee and ordained thee. So you have to be ordained to be a prophet. You can't apply to be a prophet. Okay, so let's go to the Amplified. That's the one that I want. Now listen to this. It says, a little leaven, a slight inclination of error. So what is the word inclination? Let's search the web. Inclination, a person's natural tendency or urge to act or feel in a particular way, a disposition, or what is that? Propensity? Let's look up this word. Propensity is an inclination or natural tendency to behave in a particular way. See that? And it says what? A slope or slant. It's an uphill battle with this one. And it says, let's go back. It says amplified, back in amplified. It says a slight. That means everything was cool in the video. Everything was popping. But all of a sudden now that you done put Jeebus in there, you done put the false name of the Messiah in there, you done corrupt the whole video. Don't matter now. Then you added Yahushua coming on the earth in a battle suit and wreaking havoc. That's not how the scriptures break it down. It says that he's going to be in a chariot and he's going to send out a blast of fire, and that's how they're going to sprinkle. That's how the blood is going to be sprinkled on the garments. He ain't going to be down here on the earth doing no battle. Okay? It says, a slight inclination to error or a few false teachers, okay, a few false teachers leavens the whole batch. It perverts and corrupts, and Salakia, it perverts the concept of faith and misleads the church. So the video, just like the elder said, it's off. It's not on point. That's why it says you can't have 40% right directions. You're gonna be lost. You can't have 75% right directions. You're gonna be lost. You can go all the way to around the corner from your location, but if you don't have the exact location, you will not find it. You can drive around and see if you can run into it. But if you've never been there, you don't know where the person's at, or you don't know where the location is, you don't know where the building is at, you will be lost, even though you may be right down the street. How many people have called somebody and say, man, I'm down the street. Where's your house at? If that person don't pick up, you're not going to find the house if you don't have the exact address. This truth, salvation is an exact address. Let's put it like that. The knowledge, wisdom, and understanding is a roadmap to the address of salvation. I say again, the knowledge, wisdom, and understanding is a roadmap to salvation, which is coming through Yahweh Shai's sacrifice and through Yahweh Shai's belief in the belief in the Messiah. That's why Yahweh Shai said, if you have me, you have the Father. No one cometh unto me unless the Father draw him. Because if you were drawn to Yahweh Shai and you believe in Yahweh Shai and you're one of the elect, salvation is for you, man. Immortality is for you. But you have to be drawn to Yahweh Shai and you have to believe in his name. Just like men didn't believe in him when he was on the earth. Certain men did, certain men did not. So what you think is changing today? Same thing as the man said. It says this child is for the fall and the rise of many, many. So that right there, Yahweh Shai is a focal point, just like he's a focal point right now. If you push the right ways and you do the right things, you're going to be blessed through Yahweh Shai. But if you don't and you negate him, you're not going to be blessed. You're not going to be delivered. Deliverance is not mandatory, man. We hope, we pray that we be part of the elect. We don't have a assured promise. We just make our calling and our election sure, man. We work on our individual selves. You work on ego. You work on things that can throw you off in this walk. Okay, you don't want to be high-minded. Hey, every day you have the truth. You wake up with the knowledge, wisdom, and understanding. That's a beautiful day. Always understand that. That is a beautiful day. Okay? So now let's get this. This First Corinthians it's gonna knock it out the park. When I put this in, it was over with. This is gonna show you exactly. It says, this is the Amplified. This is 1 Corinthians 5 and verse 6. It says, you're boasting. This video is boasting. Okay? They're boasting that they're going to be delivered. Look, you don't know. You don't know. They're boasting that they're going to have to be delivered through the chariots is a blessed thing. Going back to Enoch, going back to Yahweh Shai. Okay? Men that was translated. That's a heavy blessing. You don't taste death. So that's a boasting thing. This video is a boasting, uplifting them. They're not uplifting Israelites. They're just uplifting their group and saying they're going to be the ones to make it that the Lord is dealing with. The Lord ain't dealing in numbers. It says, follow not a multitude to do evil, man. It says you're boasting over the supposed spirituality of your church. See, this is what was going on back then. What do you think is happening today? The same thing, because history repeats itself. Is not good. Indeed, it is vulgar. What is vulgar? Let's look up what the word vulgar is. The word vulgar is lacking sophistication or good taste, unrefined. Come on, man. That's what do you refine? Is a fire. Yahweh Shai is also known as the refiner. Okay, he's also going to come back and he says men are walk through the fire of adversity. Okay, so you have to be refined in this truth. You can't be lazy. You can't be a lacking in having not the name is lacking. That's unrefined, because it's going to come down. These other Edomites have the name of the Lord. It says the name of the Lord is dreadful among the heathens, man. So if they're pushing in that name, you got to ask yourself, is that the right name? And they can say this, no, it's not a point. It's the main thing. It's one of the main important things of this truth is the name of the Lord, man. That's why it says there's only one name under heaven whereby men must be saved. So why would we not push that? Push the right name. See? Let's go back to here. It says vulgar and inappropriate. Do you not know that just a little leaven ferments the whole batch of dough? Just as a little sin corrupts a person or an entire church. And what is happening with IUIC? The church is corrupt. Starting with the hell doctrine, going with the MOTB, going with you can only have one woman. If all the list goes on. Okay, they push some right things, but guess what? There's leaven in there. That's what the scriptures is saying. Little leaven, not a tisket, not a portion. They got big leaven. Going against the prophecies, going against the teachings, the right teachings. Those are big leavens, man. Those are leavens that will get you in trouble, man. Hot water. Okay, so that's why we're pushing this thing, and we're saying, hey, you got to watch these things, man. And this was a good catch by the elder too, man. All right, going into this, these guys are just pretty much doing their own thing, man. All right, willy nilly, which is that's why it says being presumptuous, man. All right. I know it's it's good for visuals, for those that are coming in and to see it and to see it placed. Because we all want salvation. If you're really grinding and you win this thing, you want salvation bad. OK, so it's good to see certain things like this. But like it says, that little leaven, because that's the red flag right there. All right. Everything may be cool, but then you see that. Guess what? The whole video off, man. All right, so I'm going to leave it there. Lord willing, is that a final lesson? With that, I say, call halal, Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shai, Bahashim, Rakakwadash. Until the next time, I say shalom, and more, and I'll never keep faith. Shalom.